Greetings, YouTube. I hope your day is splendid. And today we'll be learning about the damp EQ filters in Electrax. Uh, we're going to be starting off with the low shelf, and I'll show you some tricks with it. Okay, so let's get started. The low shelf is not a low-pass filter. It boosts the low end and actually cuts the high end, but sometimes it'll keep some high end. It's basically as if you were going below 500 hertz on an EQ and boosting it up and moving the frequency around. Now, what I like to do is sometimes throw, let's say, an LFO on it. And instant dubstep. And yeah, it's really useful. Like, mix and matching this with the other filters that I taught you about can give you some really nice results. Next, we'll be looking at the high shelving. And high shelving is not really a high pass filter. It is a high shelf, boosting the high while killing some of the low, but brings back the low when you turn it to the left. So let's get started. Might I add that the reso boosts the peak up. That way, it'll get louder. With it all the way down, it's not gonna work. You're gonna need the res up to get this. Add a fuzz. You can get some really nice effects with this. Like I said in the last filter type, mix and match. You can get some crazy results with these high shelf and low shelf filters. Let's kill that LFO. Yeah. And it's good for layering in Electrax. Really good for layering. Now let's get to our next filter in the list. And it is wide. And wide is like a peak filter. And this is pretty fun. Turning up the resonance curves it a little bit. Makes it a little mountain. Triangle. You can add some distortion to it to, make it a little crispy. And yeah, you can get a lot of different effects. Like let's see what happens when we add another one in a series. And we turn it over here. And let's turn this off and bring this up a little bit. Little sub right there we got. But it's a wide band. That's what it is. It's all a wide is. Peak. It's just a peak in frequency is a peak filter. The peak is good for those very nasty vowel sounds that you can get. And take out. And might I add that if you put this in the bass frequency, your bass will get a bit more loud and sometimes even deeper. So let's go to our next filter, and that is our last filter, the notch. The notch is a notch in frequency. Basically, it's let's pull out the EQ real quick. This is a notch filter. You move it around like that. The notch is very popular in today's neurofunk music. Koan Sound uses it a lot in their basses, even pads and stuff. You can add character with it. Now let's see a demonstration. Kind of gives a hollow kind of sound to it. Let's add a little drive to it. Let's add a little crush to it. And let's even add let's add a peak filter along with this res filter, but let's keep them a little distance from apart so they don't really get into the spectrum with each other and clash. See what I mean? You can create some nasty basses with this filter. Just with a notch filter. Next, we're going to use a trick. Wide and a notch. Let's keep them about right here. A little deep bass trick. You can also make it talk by moving the cutoff a little bit, the frequency. And this is about it for my tutorial. Thanks for watching. Next will be the special filters, which I'll be covering the phaser, comb positive, negative, vocal, aliaser, and a ring mod. Thank you for tuning in, and be sure to subscribe and leave a comment if you have any questions. I will be happy to answer them. And thanks for watching my video.